I would say I believe because I feel like there's just something so much greater than who we are, and I feel like I'm tired of constantly trying to go after a temporary state of happiness, just these temporary things that I know that after a while will go away. And looking back on my life, I can see that if I didn't have God helping me through these things, all my situations and trials and through so many things, I wouldn't be here and be who I am today.
If you look at everything around you, everything from just the dust to the ant, all the way to like the stars in the sky, right? Everything just, I can't believe that it was made by anything other than a perfect creator.
Life is too beautiful for it to be just random things. I mean, things like science and things like that, especially science. I love science. And why I like science is because it looks so beautiful. And only a creator could have done that. It's not random. I believe Jesus came to save us, and that's just another beautiful thing.
I think it's just, because it's so evident to see God like everywhere and everybody. Because we're all made in the image of God, when you look at somebody, your neighbor, your friend, or your family, you see a little bit of God in that person. So if you ever just want to see God, just look at somebody, and He's everywhere.
Another reason is just the holistic nature of the Bible and the truth in it. It has something to say about history, it has something to say about science, it has something to say about human hearts. It has a wisdom that is unparalleled to any philosopher, anyone in history, and it's uncomfortably true.
Partially why I believe in Jesus is just seeing what He's done in my life, seeing how He's impacted my life, how He's changed my life, and just remembering the love that He's shown me, and it's just so amazing.
In my life, there's been two things that I've constantly been struggling with, and one is that just the fact that I'm such a simple person, and then number two, that I'm constantly seeking things in this world to fill that emptiness in my heart. And I think the reason why I believe in Him is because He does all of that. He fixed, or He's taken away my sin, and He's filled that void.
So in John 4 in the Bible, Jesus goes up to this woman who's at the well, and she's drawing water. And Jesus basically says to her, the water that you draw from this well, you're gonna drink it, but then you're gonna be thirsty again. But the water that I give you will well up to an everlasting life. It'll sustain you forever. And I guess that's why I believe, because for the first 16 years of my life, I was going to other things, temporary highs to sustain me, to fulfill that God-shaped hole in my heart. Whether it was with relationships, with popularity, with grades. But in the end, I realized that I wasn't created for that. I was dissatisfied with everything in this world. And I realized that only God could fill that God-shaped hole in my heart. And so that's why I believe. And now I have joy, I have peace, I have, I'm sustained forever.
I would say that I believe in Jesus because I know Him and because I have a relationship with Him, and He wakes me up in the morning and I pray to Him, and He gives me advice. He comforts me. He takes away my sins, and He gives me worth.
I think the gospel and the resurrection of Jesus has a lot of historical and philosophical evidence that backs it up. And so I think it is, first of all, the most rational point of view to take. Why I find it to be true is because in my everyday life, when I experience, after I accepted Jesus into my life, I experience Him every day on a level that I've never experienced before I accepted Christ, that He became so real to me.
I think that if you asked me that question 5 years ago, I would say that I believed in Jesus because my parents did, and that's the way I was brought up. But now I would say that I believe in Jesus because His love for me is real, as displayed on the cross, and also His faithfulness is real to me, even when I'm not faithful to Him.
God never promised life would be easy, but I think even though this world is really overwhelming sometimes, I find peace in Him, and I find strength in Him because I know that by myself I'm really weak. I can't handle a lot of things that responsibility that I have. But with Christ in me, I'm able to overcome that, and He gives me the strength to.
I believe it because it's different from any other religion in the world. It's not a religion that tells me that through my efforts towards perfection, I can gain salvation or reach nirvana. I think it addresses our hearts in a very real and truthful way. It doesn't say like, oh, through your efforts, you can get to God. It tells you, no, you're a sinner and you're helpless. And the only way to God is if you accept the fact that He came because of His great love for you to die for you.
I believe in Jesus because of what the Bible tells me, just how He first loved me so that I may be able to love. And with that is just the fact that He was willing to come in the likeness of man and just being able to suffer as we suffered, and just coming down and stooping down to our level, even though He's this almighty God, seeing that He would go as far as to just level with us. I think that in itself speaks for itself, and just how much He loves us.